And ladies and gentlemen, as we are settled in here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program in our studios, these superstars of Raw and SmackDown are making their way into Petco Park, San Diego, California for Survivor Series War Games. I am OM Dynamic, joined alongside Chris Best to offer our insights, reaction, and analysis. And what a beautiful setup they have in Petco Park tonight.
Yeah, but as we hear the sirens of the War Games going off, the cage is lowering. Our first match is one of the War Games matches. I believe it is the women's because as I heard Joe Tessitore say, that the men's War Games will be headlining. But I am very perplexed at something about the women's War Games right now.
Okay.
When they were showing the women walking in, it said Team Rhea, implying that Rhea Ripley is the captain of the team, which I'm
Right.
okay with, whatever.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it said Asuka is the team captain. I'm a little perplexed at that. To me, it makes more sense if AJ Lee and Becky Lynch were the captains of their respective teams.
I understand where you're coming from, but they were also the last additions to each team, and it was built around the Kabuki Warriors, of course, and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden you're adding the next two teams of Nia and Lash, as well as Rhea and Io. So I understand why they went with Asuka, because she was the one who truly built that team, and then Becky was just sort of that last minute addition. So I'm okay with it. I think you should have had it. If you were going to do that, you needed to bring AJ back a little earlier than we did, to have her put the team together and have Becky put the team together.
It just makes sense to me because to me, that's the bigger feud between all of the feuds that are going into this War Games. That's just my thought on it. Because let's
Right.
face it, when AJ Lee and Becky Lynch finally go one-on-one, that's going to be a co-headliner somewhere on whichever show
Absolutely.
they go.
Absolutely, it will be. Um, but that's the biggest one-on-one feud. We discussed this last night. A lot of this match really seems to focus around the women's tag team championships.
Right, because as I said, I get the feeling that after War Games, it's going to be Nia and Lash Legend who are going to step up and challenge
Okay.
the Kabuki Warriors. At least that's a vibe I'm getting. I don't know if you turn either of them babyface, but because you can do a heel versus heel match.
You can. I'm honestly looking at it because Charlotte, who of course won the advantage last night for her team going into this match.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm loving this smoke display.
That was actually, yeah, that was really cool. And they're doing the Royal Rumble dugout entrance for the entranceway.
I am all for it. But I think now with the Kabuki Warriors being the tag team champions, I think that you can look at moving the titles back and forth between different brands.
Yep. And once again, the War Game sound siren. The War Game siren sounds off, is what I was trying to say.
Yes.
That cage is lowering. Get ready for destruction, people.
Yes, Mr. Best, would you like to give the people the rules for War Games?
Yeah, it starts off with two people from each team. One member of each team starts the match after 5 minutes. A member from the advantage team will be released to enter the match after a 3-minute period Alternating members from each team will enter the match until all competitors are inside the ring. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. Once War Games begins, if a competitor leaves the cage, their team forfeits. The only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. And that second last rule, that's intriguing to me because I did not realize that if you leave the cage, um, you can. It sounds to me like you can leave the cage before War Games actually begins now.
Right. And I was going to say that's a new twist on the rule, because it used to be that if the competitor left the cage, they weren't allowed back in, not
No,
just the whole team.
no, it used to be the whole team, and it didn't matter at what point in the match.
And Charlotte Flair making her way out as the number one entrant for her team, which really has me a little bit surprised. At the same time, I like it, and I am digging her new outfits.
So
She's
no locking
not
them up in the shark cage this time around.
No, she's not coming out with the traditional Flair robe.
No, we've talked about this over the last couple of weeks. She's been taking a bit of a colorful tone in her gear.
And I am okay with this. I am enjoying it. This new version of Charlotte Flair, who is not just pushing herself to the title, is actually showing a little bit of character and maybe a little bit of individuality. I'm really, really liking it.
And a little compassion, as Michael Cole had stated. That little girl she just did the heart symbol with is a girl that she had met through like a Make-A-Wish type foundation.
Okay.
But
So
I'm intrigued that there's no shark cage thing. I kind of liked the shark cage.
I do too, but you know what? At the same time, I'm liking this, because now it does leave other competitors open, even though they may be in separate locker rooms. They may get attacked in the back on their way to the ring.
The NWO was guilty of doing that.
So there
in
is lots
their
of
War Games. Oh,
different developments, and wow.
So the two women who had the advantage match last night are starting off the War Games with Asuka making her way to the ring.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, Charlotte's side has the advantage here, so Asuka is basically going to have her back against the wall for about 8 minutes.
Yes. But she cannot be
Or
pinned or
5.
submitted.
This is true, but you could still severely beat her down, and then by the time War Games starts, I mean, the first target you should be going after would be Asuka, who could be the weakest at that point.
Absolutely. Now, I had Alexa Bliss and Lash Legend actually starting this match, so I'm really intrigued by this draw, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And Asuka getting her classic Tron for this match and not the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh, another rule added to the War Games. Nobody involved in the matches is allowed into the arena the arena portion of the building, I should say, until their
they're
number is called.
wow. Okay. I like it. So they're adding a new level of depth. But this still leaves the option to lay an attack in the back, in the locker room area.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do have these two women now locking up and starting off trying to hit hard.
Asuka being the first one to connect with that kick to the gut, though. This is one of my favorite things that they do with the War Games now, the camera inside the cage.
Yeah.
And now we've got a camera on top of the cage, too. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. One of the things that I would love to see happen in War Games is you go back and you can start the War Games once all 10 competitors are in the ring. But then you go to that Survivor Series elimination style. So you can eliminate a member of the opposite team. So even though you build that advantage up, that advantage can then still go back and forth throughout the match.
Charlotte, I just got to say this. You are not Stephanie Vaquer. It looked like she was attempting to go for the kiss of death, and
Yep.
Asuka was trying to get out.
Yep.
And now the fighting in between the rings that usually happens, and that steel girder that connects the two rings, that adds an extra level of damage there.
Oh, yes, it does.
One of my favorite things from watching like War Games events is when it's not even necessarily a War Games match, but you're watching like a regular match and they still spill from one ring to the next.
Yep.
And in some cases, if I remember from like the old WCW days, that still didn't constitute a count out.
Right.
There is one thing I kind of want to see that could be a little bit different with the modern War Games that we get. You know how we always get like the next competitor comes to the ring, they grab a weapon from under the ring.
Yep.
I would like to see it where the first two competitors grab weapons to start things off.
Okay.
I could actually see that if they had like we'll say like if it was like if we had like hardcore wrestlers in there, like say Tommy Dreamer, if he was in there.
Well, I was going to suggest as well, would you like to see it? And I know we've seen it. We don't see it very often with even a regular cage match, but would you like to see the weapons just hanging from the cage or hanging down from the structure above?
Kind of like the Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, but we'll have to bring back Dean Ambrose's plant.
Yes.
Actually, if anything, can we get John Moxley back in the WWE?
I would love to if he would be willing to come back.
He's talked about being open about going back in the past. But right now, it's just it's not in the cards for him. He's like, he basically said, "You never know," which left it open. You know.
Yeah. Just so long as if we get John Moxley back, we do not get that reunion.
You know they would do the Shield reunion.
I know they would.
Oh, we're already 20 seconds away from the next person coming out.
Yes. So who do you have next for Team Rhea?
I'm going to say Rhea.
Okay, so you're going to go with the power right off the bat for this team. And then save the power for Nia and Lash for the last two for the others?
Well, I'm totally wrong. Io's joining. She's got an oversized trash can lid.
Yes, she does.
But this also makes sense because if there's one person who wants to get some sort of revenge on Asuka, it's Io Sky.
100%. And I actually saw an interesting stat today. Io Sky is the only woman in this match who has competed in every War Games.
Oh yeah. Like
7 consecutive.
I called it months ago that Io was going to be in it. And I'm going out on a limb right now. 12 months from now, she's going to be in next year's War Games, provided she doesn't get injured.
Right.
This is smart of Charlotte to stay away from this brawl that we're having right now.
Yep. But smart on Asuka as well. She's sort of giving herself the distance to be able to recoup and get ahead on her attacks.
Yeah, but she did. She shouldn't have taunted like that because now Io just took her out.
Yep.
But before that, yeah, Asuka was doing a strategy that I do when I play the War Games match on 2K25. If the advantage is against me, I will separate my opponent by keeping one in one ring and one in the other, and then go back and forth and hit like one attack on the other, jump over, hit, attack, and attack the other one. Keep them both down. Oh, just caught that trash can lid to the face there, did you, Asuka?
Yes. Now, given that there is history, not just with everybody in this match, but there's two injured competitors that have history with a number of people. Could we see the return or returns of Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan during this match?
Possibly Liv, but it's already been stated that Bianca is not due back until like at least the Rumble. If Bianca does show up, it's possible.
Okay. Who is next to come out for us to join Asuka?
Kairi. Becky.
Whoa. Wow.
I thought she was going to be the last one.
So did I. And Becky coming out with the kendo stick. And the boxer's robe.
It seems like they're all coming out with weapons right now, but if I'm If I'm them, I'd toss the kendo stick in the ring, grab more weapons underneath.
Yep.
Now I got to imagine Becky's coming in with a bit of a chip on her shoulder right now.
Oh, yes.
And Asuka's got to be thankful that Becky's in the ring now.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say an interesting strategy there from Becky is she looked to try and lock Io's feet together.
Yeah, put her in a tree of woe, and she did not factor her former 4-horsewoman partner getting involved.
Right? And Becky and Charlotte sort of looked at each other with their history. We know that they were best friends. They've had a falling out. Then they realigned a couple of years ago in this match.
I was going to say they've since rekindled that friendship.
So we cannot forget the history between these two women in this match.
And let's not forget who else was there during the time the 4-horsewomen were down in NXT. Asuka was there too.
Becky and Charlotte showing some of that 4-horsewoman chemistry before they turn right back around on each other.
Yeah, and another piece of their history is these two women, alongside Ronda Rousey, were the first 3 women to have headlined a WrestleMania.
Yes, they were. The night Becky Lynch truly hit the big time when she became 2 belts Becky.
Hard to believe that was
Okay.
only to believe that was just a little over 6 years ago.
Okay, with 10 seconds, who's next?
I'm going to say Rhea now. Watch, it's AJ though. Oh, Alexa. Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense given that they were just showing Charlotte in trouble.
Yeah.
No weapon for her though.
No. But Alexa not wasting any time.
This is where I thought she was going to suddenly reach under the ring and pull out Lily. Well, it looked like she was going to run over towards where Becky is, but Asuka cut her off.
Yes. Now, I'm going to ask, I know we're all anticipating the Io Sky trash can spot. Do we get the Charlotte Flair moonsault off the top of the cage?
Well, I'm not sure because Io is the one who usually does the moonsault with the trash can, so.
Yeah, but Io tends to just do the dive with the trash can as opposed to the moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm wondering if we're going to get that. Or do we get a twisted bliss off the top of the cage from Alexa?
I'm really not sure, but I know somebody's going to be coming off that cage
Oh, yeah.
at some point.
And
Okay, for some
Alexa
reason,
hitting some dragon screws.
I was just going to say, for some reason, I thought that was going to lead to a double figure 4.
No, but a double natural selection.
Io receiving some valuable time resting right now.
Yes, she is.
I will flat out admit it does look weird seeing the War Games set up in a stadium,
It does.
but it's going to take some getting used to because I feel like this isn't going to be the last Survivor Series inside a stadium. This is actually, for everybody who doesn't know, this is the first Survivor Series to take place in a stadium.
Yes, it is. Because, yes, even War Games 2 years ago in Toronto was at the Scotiabank Arena and not the Rogers Center.
Yep.
Now we get Kairi Sane making her way out.
I thought War Games was in Vancouver.
No.
Yep. It was in Vancouver, not Toronto.
We had a War Games in Toronto as well because Shiv went. Because there was War Games, there was Survivor, NXT, and there was...
I got to double check this then.
I think the year before Vancouver.
That was Chicago because that was Punk's debut.
Okay, so last year was Vancouver then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years. Because that was a Brock and Goldberg, I do believe.
In 2022, it was in Boston.
Okay, because we had Brock and Goldberg in Toronto.
That would be... Hang on one second, because I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that was when NXT was having War Games.
Yeah, I'm trying to look as Kairi Sane is in the ring, and she's got herself a chain.
She does.
That's channeling your inner junkyard dog, are you? Well, she was swinging it around, so actually more Hercules.
Yes.
That's kind of a deep pull for a lot of wrestling fans who don't know Hercules.
Hercules Hernandez.
So Survivor Series, the one you're thinking about that took place in Toronto, was in 2016, almost 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
War Games was not a thing yet in WWE. Which, and I'll say that I'll always say this, but when WCW got bought out, War Games should have automatically become like an event. I don't know why they took so long in trying to get War Games. I heard one of the excuses was because like the arenas are too small, which is BS to begin with.
Yep. Oh, and now Becky holding the chain with Charlotte and Io tied up.
And Alexa, all three of them were tied up. Now, we were talking about jumping off the cage, and to me, this would be too dangerous, speaking from personal back problems. But imagine Kairi Sane doing the insane elbow off the top of the cage.
Wow. I can imagine it. I don't really want to.
Yeah, because I think of the compressed back pain that she would suffer from it.
Oh, yeah. And now we are about to hear Rhea's music, I do believe.
Yep. Wait. I saw the color. I couldn't tell quickly, though.
Oh, it's
AJ Lee.
AJ.
Okay. I will take that. It's Becky Becky's trying to hold the cage closed.
Becky is trying to hold the cage closed as AJ Lee is sprinting to the ring and not skipping here today.
Well, yeah, she's looking to punch the lights out of Becky. But here
Yes, she is.
AJ, you don't need to argue. Climb the cage. That's how you get in.
Right. And AJ following your advice.
I think AJ's going to be the first one to go off the cage then. Or maybe not. But Kairi's there to try and cut her off.
And AJ
Now,
from the frying pan into the fire here.
I have to imagine that she did talk to CM Punk about getting some advice on how to navigate this match.
Oh, yes. Now, are CM Punk and AJ Lee the first husband-wife duo to compete in War Games on the same night?
I'm going to go and look back at 2023 because I think that's the last time Seth was in a War Games. And
now AJ and Becky have isolated themselves in the one ring while everybody else is down inside the other.
I feel like I might be wrong here, but maybe the Street Profits might have competed in one while Bianca competed in another. It's possible.
True. It is possible.
Well, no. CM Punk and AJ Lee are not the same. Are not the first. Becky Lynch and
Okay.
Seth Rollins did do it in 2023.
Okay.
Because Becky that night she was with Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and herself. They defeated Damage Control, consisting of Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane. Oh yeah, that was a 4-on-4 War Games. I looked at that and I said it said with Dakota Kai as the manager. I'm like, wait, I thought Dakota was in that match. But this is smart what I'm seeing right now, because right now we've got Becky, Asuka, and Kairi triple teaming AJ, because AJ's the X factor in this match. You can't really. It's hard to tell just how she will be going forward in this match.
Exactly. But then Charlotte, Becky, or sorry, not Charlotte, Asuka, or Charlotte, Alexa, and Io got up, and now they're pummeling. But we have about 5 seconds to go, and I think we are about to see the debut of Lash Legend here in War Games.
No, Nia Jax.
Wow.
So my thought last night could very well come true, because I thought Lash Legend was going to be the last one on her team.
You did.
To come out.
And I actually had Lash initially pegged as first on her team.
And I base that off the scenario that she comes in and just dominates everybody in Lash Legend. Because I with her being announced in this match, I thought that I think that this is going to be the Star Maker match for her. Just as I said last night, the 1994 Royal Rumble was the Star Maker match for Diesel.
100% it is. Nia Jax coming in using that irresistible force hip attack.
Oh. And just knocked Io Sky Silly with that fist.
She did.
Now, there hasn't been much plunder in this match. I got to assume now that they're saving that for the men's war games now.
Yes. Now, I'm going to ask this because we know that the one team gets that advantage for 3 minutes going up. But doesn't it work out a little more advantageously for the team that's actually behind? They get the freshest person coming in to come in and assert control.
I mean, when your last two members are women like Nia Jax and Lash Legend, that's a possibility. I was just looking and seeing before Asuka got in there, Nia Jax pummeling away on Alexa Bliss. There's a lot of history between those two women, former
Oh,
tag team
yes.
former tag team champions, former best friends.
Yep.
Deep history between these two, and I believe it all started like the history of their rivalry. I believe started. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Alexa Bliss cash in Money in the Bank on her or something like that at some point? On Nia, I mean.
She did because that was the year that Ronda Rousey challenged Nia Jax. Alexa won Money in the Bank, took Ronda out,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, cashed in on Nia.
Oh, here comes the plunder. I was wondering where the trash can was. Rhea Ripley has got the trash can. Oh, I like
Yes,
her. I like her mask.
you and me both.
Inspired, as Michael Cole said, by the horror series Terrifier.
Yes.
I still have yet to watch those movies, and I know right now, I believe they're on Tubi to watch for free.
Okay. And Rhea, of course, bringing Io's trash cans to the ring.
That's what I just said. I said that there's the trash can. I was looking for it.
Well, there's two, one inside the other.
Damn. And Rhea just tossed that like she was throwing a football at somebody's head.
Yes, she did. Rhea doing her again with her gear, very, very China inspired, just a little more colorful. And this is not the first year that Rhea has competed in War Games with a mask.
No, because of the same injury some years ago, she had to perform in that match. But I forget who she was having a rivalry with. I remember it came down to them too. And
Her and Liv.
yes, yeah. As soon as I said that, I realized it was Liv. And then Liv thought she had the upper hand. Like she was just
Yep.
getting all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat your butt." Yeah, but then the revealing that was fine. The
Yep.
crowd went insane for that, if I
Because
remember correctly.
they did, because that was the match where Liv was coming out. Rhea looked back, took the mask off, and Liv walked to the back and got a bat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I knew what Rhea was telling her. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What are they doing? Oh,
What a brutal drop kick from Io. Looks like the way Nia has been mocking Io. I'm wondering if that's where we're going to go with a rivalry is Nia and Lash versus Rio, as we are now at 15 seconds and we await the arrival of Lash Legend to War Games.
yeah. The other woman who is a total X factor in this match, because again, we've never seen her in this scenario. We don't know how she's going to be. They may want to consider changing her Titantron because it looks like she's still using the Metaphor style Titantron. And as far as I know, Metaphor is not really a thing anymore.
They are not. Because Noam is injured again.
Yeah.
Oro Mensa is no longer with the company. Jakara Jackson is no longer with the company.
And now, guys, War Games has begun. Oh, look who's the referee, by the way.
Right?
Jessica Carr is the referee, people.
Becky cannot be happy about that.
But what Becky can be happy about is exactly what Lash Legend is doing to AJ Lee right now.
Yes. And then catching Alexa Bliss. Wow.
And then using her as a weapon on Charlotte. Oh, the same thing she did to Alexa a couple weeks ago. Sleeper hold with that twisting and turning and throwing of the body that she did.
Yeah.
Which was which as I remarked then, and I'm going to say it now as well, very reminiscent of what China did to Terry Runnels when she made her debut.
And then what a choke slam from Lash to Charlotte Flair.
What I tell you, I felt like she was going to be coming into this match and she's going to dominate everybody.
Yep.
Now imagine this, and I know it's way too soon to even consider this, but think about this for like, let's put this like maybe a year and a half down the road. Imagine if they were building Lash Legend to be a possible contender against Jade Cargill.
I could absolutely see it. And I'm speaking as, not the biggest Lash Legend fan, but admittedly, she has really grown on me in the last little while.
To be fair, she's been on fire since that battle royal at Evolution earlier this year.
Yep. But I could
I
really
honestly feel.
see.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I see Lash potentially being that one to dethrone Chelsea Green for the U.S. title.
I like that option too. I now forget what I was going to say about her. Oh, as soon as I said Jakara, I remembered. I feel like since Jakara's release and since like they essentially broke them up because of the release. I feel like Lash Legend has just struck gold, striking out on her own, and putting her with Nia Jax is still not a bad move. As
all.
I said when they first united, I feel like they're doing this to beef up the women's tag team division.
I would be okay if a year down the road we're building to a Lash Legend Rhea Ripley rivalry.
The one thing I don't think I want to see though is when Lash and Nia split, because it will happen at some point.
Yep.
I don't think I need to see them in a rivalry. I would like to see that if they do split, it becomes more of a mutual thing.
Right. Well, and
That way,
we got the
that
tease of that rivalry a couple of months ago in NXT. But also
mhm.
that is potentially what led to this, as we have heard Nia Jax say.
Okay, I thought Becky had it there. AJ was so close on not getting that, on missing that 2 count. But she got it up in the last second, and Io jumped in, got the attack in on the last second. But what I want to say, what I was going to say about Nia and Lash Legend is, if you split them up in an amicable way, you can still revisit them potentially as a tag team somewhere down the line. Even though you could do it if they were to split up in a violent way. I mean, like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty have done it.
Right? What about in a potential draft? You just split them that way.
Yeah, because they did that with the Dudleys, although that was a big mistake on Devon's part because they tried to give him a reverend role with Batista.
Yep.
Rhea's like, no, you're not getting the 3 count yet. We still have to see Io do the dive off the cage with the trash can.
Yep. What an angle for that insane elbow, though, that we just saw there.
Yeah, it's one of those cameras that got planted. Oh, uh-oh. Io's in trouble, or Rhea's in trouble right now. Okay. Oh, geez. This is okay. See, this is where I think this is going to lead to the Kabuki Warriors and Lash Legend and Nia feuding.
Yep.
Asuka just accidentally misted Lash Legend. I keep wanting to call her Jakara Jackson. And I know it's Lash Legend.
And that now seemingly having taken both Nia and Lash out. And now Rhea and Charlotte for the double suplex.
Yeah, sometimes I forget, like, Charlotte, yeah, she's very athletic, and Twisted Bliss there from Alexa. But I sometimes forget how strong Charlotte can be, too.
Right?
Oh, we've got Io on top. We've got AJ with the trash can. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Yeah. Oh, crap. The ladies are in trouble. This is an annual tradition. This has to happen every year now.
Yep.
And she did a senton with it.
Wow.
Look at Becky. I feel your reaction there. Oh, wow.
Holy sugar blossoms.
And Alexa's got Oh, I thought she was going for Sister Abigail. Becky is now the
Becky
only
trying
one
to-
left on her team. How much you want to bet
Becky
AJ
trying
gets
to-
the pin on her, though? Oh, Riptide.
Oh, into the Black Widow.
Yeah. And that's going to do it. Wow. Losing by the hand of Jessica Carr again, though, essentially.
Yep.
I get a feeling with Becky because I get a feeling that I don't know if AJ is going to come back like immediately, but I get a feeling that we're going to Becky and Jessica after this.
Okay.
Unless, did Becky get her rematch with Maxine already? No way.
No.
But to be fair, after War Games, I don't think I'd want to show up on Monday night, at least for a couple weeks. But Becky, in this moment here, as we're watching the Io Sky senton off of the top, Becky just saw her entire match implode there.
Yep. See, and I don't think, because in this case, we didn't have any type of a physical confrontation between Becky and Jessica Carr during the match, that I don't think that you need to go to that level in this match today.
No, but when Becky comes back, because I got to assume, again, with War Games, after War Games, they usually let the wrestlers take a couple weeks off because of how brutal the match is.
Yeah.
I get a feeling that Becky pins the blame on not her losing, but on Jessica Carr for causing the loss. And of course, Jessica Carr has had enough of it. We've already seen just how heated it's gotten with them two. But what a match. What a way to start the show off. That's quite the crowd, actually.
Oh yeah, that is huge.
I was worried about the ticket sales for a while there because I saw reports from like last week that ticket sales weren't as good. But then I heard this morning that WWE had to open up more seats.
Wow.
But
And
coming up next, guys.
just as we called the other night, Dominik Mysterio challenges John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. This is
But you
one
know
of
what?
the. Sorry.
You don't know what you don't have to challenge? You don't have to challenge our shop. So take a look.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
And ladies and gentlemen, that website once again is carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Go there to get all your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program merchandise. Wear what we wear. While you're there, head on over to turnbucklestudios.org if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting, content creation, potential collaboration, or just help us out behind the scenes. Turnbucklestudios.org has all your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program needs. Click the host section to meet the team. Mr. Best, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, and of course, Carl Carafel. Check out our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one, which will be up very shortly after the show tonight. Click the join button to send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and how we here can help you. Send us your credentials. And most importantly, then we can sit down as a collective and figure out the fit. And lastly, click the shop link to head over to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org for all your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs. The hottest site on the internet. Do it, and do it now.
As we're watching a promo for tourism in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I got to question you, OMD, on this one. If you had the chance, would you visit Riyadh?
Very, very
It's
difficult.
a bit on the controversial side.
It is. It is. And this is a tough one. I would have to say yes, just to experience the culture and the food. Do I necessarily agree with everything and the way of life they have over there? No, but I want to experience it to learn about it.
Yeah, and see, I'm on that same boat because to me, traveling is about the experience. The moment you leave the house in your vehicle, the moment you leave the airport in the plane, that's all a part of the experience.
100% it is.
The anticipation for getting to the location, I've always counted as part of the experience.
Believe it or not, I've got some former coworkers, and I haven't spoken to them in a number of years, who were actually born and raised there. They, of course, came here for school. They've sent photos from being live at some of those Saudi shows, like a Crown Jewel.
Mm-hmm. But this right now is kind of bothering me. Commercial breaks during the pay-per-view?
Right? I'm with you.
This is where you do backstage interviews, guys. This is where you maybe do an interview with Roman Reigns, or you do a backstage segment with Punk and Cody or something like that.
Right. Well, and I mean, as we discussed on Turnbuckle Talk, because of Seth Rollins, of course, covering the NFL on Christmas Day here on Netflix, this would be an ideal time to do something like a KO show or have one of these injured wrestlers doing something like that so that they're still active, they're still involved, they're still on our screens, they're still present.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, up next, and I think I understand why they're doing this, because they've got to clean up all the weaponry that was in the women's war games.
Yeah, you got to clean the debris, you've got to raise the cage.
But it really doesn't take that long to raise the cage. I mean, I've been to Elimination Chamber, Unforgiven. They had Hell in a Cell. They did clean that up, but at the same time, they had a backstage segment. They showed, I think the match after the Hell in a Cell was the Trish Stratus retirement match. They played that video package.
Right. Well, I mean, even at Elimination Chamber this year, I mean, we had of course, the chamber match to open the show. It took a good 5 minutes to get the chamber lifted.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, after the tag team Hell in a Cell, because it was DX taking on the McMahons and Big Show. They raised the cage as soon as the match came to an end. Well, mostly because they wanted to get to Shane McMahon and Vince, who were just severely done for by the time that match came to an end.
Right. And what we have to remember is that there's a big difference in the weight between a steel cage,
Mm-hmm.
the Elimination Chamber, and the War Games structure, which is a double cage.
And we're getting some promotional work for the PS5, which is what I'm watching this program on. Oh, wow. Now the stadium looks awesome now that the sun's pretty much set over there.
Right. And you look at that aerial top-down view, that is...
From the Goodyear blimp.
Yes. 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 There. That is our moment of the night.
The Goodyear blimp making an appearance.
As is Little Yachty.
But he's been at several shows over the last couple of months. So. Adria Favela, Latin Grammy nominated regional Mexican something. Former unified heavyweight boxing champion Andy Ruiz. Padres pitcher Jeremiah Estrada. He's a beast on the mound, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But the Goodyear blimp. Did not expect that.
No, we didn't. And now, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's John Cena for his second last ever match, or whether it's Dom, we are going to have to listen to the pop for both of those individuals.
But now keep in mind, though, because they're in an outdoor stadium, it is actually difficult to hear the reaction. Because, as you know, if you're in like an enclosed stadium, the sound echoes off the roof. I mean, our old Memorial Gardens was great for crowd cheering.
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. I guess we don't need a roof because I can hear them already, and I haven't even turned the volume up. I don't know if you would call that oh. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez accompanying him to the ring there.
And I love it. I love it.
But the crowd seems to be behind Dom.
They are.
They're also going to be behind Cena too. I mean,
oh, absolutely, they are.
It's not going to be, and again, I'm going to bring up Unforgiven 06. It's not going to be just like that when Edge was cheered like the homecoming hero and John Cena was booed like the biggest villain ever.
Right. So, again, with Raquel and Roxanne out here, John really having no backup. Now, I'm not going to expect Finn and JD to come out, but I am going to ask is, do we get, again, the Liv Morgan return in this match and in this situation?
Well, John Cena does have a bit of backup in another Mysterio in Rey.
Yep.
But I think it could be intriguing if Liv shows up and Liv turns on the Judgment Day.
Very much so.
I'm not exactly sure where you go from it or the reason why. I suppose it could be like her saying to Dom, like, you never checked on me while I was injured. You've been too enamored with, and she's going to point out Roxanne Perez and pin the blame on her, we'll say. Oh, the crowd is just getting hot for John.
They are, but Dom milking it all into.
And as soon as John's theme hit, the crowd just, if there was a roof on the stadium, they blew the roof off. Okay, I love that John did that. He went to the people who were basically sitting behind the Titantron and shook hands with them. To put things into perspective, not only is this John Cena's second last match, this is John Cena's last stadium match as well. John Cena's shirt is totally giving me 70s vibes with the colors to it. And they do have a decibel meter up on the crowd. They were pumping out at 110 decibels there.
They were. And you know what? Even for as loud a reaction as Dom got, the appreciation, the level of respect and admiration for John Cena and his career literally did blow the non-existent roof off of Petco Park in San Diego.
Yeah. But again, I gotta wonder, because this is the first time we've seen Roxanne and Raquel accompanying Dom to the ring in a long time.
It is.
I gotta wonder why. I know that they're going to be out there to attempt to cost John Cena the Intercontinental title.
Well,
But I
and
feel
again,
like there's got to be something. There's got to be something else to it.
I'm with you there because, and this is where I'm going to wonder is, do we get them interfering, giving Dom the Intercontinental Championship? Dom is, of course, hugging them, maybe accidentally plants one on Roxanne and cue Liv's music. As Alicia Taylor is in the ring, ready to do the introductions. And the crowd just going absolutely electric for that introduction for John Cena. A little more subdued on Dom's introduction, but that is okay. This is one of the two matches that I was really looking forward to tonight. The first one being, of course, the women's war games. And we'll cover the other two as we get to those. I know for me personally, I do have Dom coming out on top in this match.
I do too. But I'm very curious how, because dare I say it, right now, this is Dom's biggest match in his career.
100% it is. We've seen him have his WrestleMania matches. He hasn't had his true WrestleMania moment yet. But yes, definitely the biggest match because you are now facing the greatest of all time in John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. You just lost 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. See, I think Dom has had a WrestleMania moment, or no, wait, did they lose that match when him and Ray teamed up against Logan Paul and The Miz?
They lost that match.
Okay, so it wasn't quite a WrestleMania moment, and already Roxanne Perez getting into the match by tripping John Cena.
Yes, making it a little bit quicker match right off the hop, as you suggested.
But like I said, the only person behind John Cena in this whole feud has been Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
And now that Penta is out, because we know that Penta and Rey were supposed to take on Dominik Mysterio and El Grande Americano. Could this be a way for Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix to team up at that AAA event?
It could be, but I also have to wonder if that is where you get a Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee and you go back to the LWO. Or do you go to Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde in that situation?
Well, it was supposed to be the main event for the next show, and I just don't see. Well, Dragon Lee was in the main event at the second last AAA show because I didn't watch Fridays. I don't know who is in that match or in that show
Right.
yet. It's a possibility with the scenarios, even though like I know on the main roster they haven't really promoted anything as far as AAA feuds go because that's all been done in NXT lately.
Yeah.
As Dom is doing something you don't want to do in this match. Yes, he's getting the offense in on John Cena, but he's showboating.
Yes.
You don't want to do that with John Cena because John Cena can just flip the script and beat you right, just like that.
Yes, he can. And I got to ask is how quickly is it that we're going to see the ref actually catch Raquel or Roxanne?
That you see, that's something I was thinking about too. And if he catches, let's say it's just Roxanne, does just Roxanne get thrown out, or do the both of them go?
Right.
Because if I'm the referee, I think the smart choice would be to throw the both of them out. Because
It would
if
be.
Roxanne gets caught, the referee still runs the chance for Raquel doing
But
things.
that's where you have to wonder is it Ray that's going to come out, chase them off? Or is it Ray that's going to come out, cause a conflict, and all three of them get tossed, leading to a potential distraction from Finn Balor and JD from behind?
And speaking of distraction, they just provided the perfect distraction from John Cena trying to get the upper hand on Dom as the action has spilled to the outside.
Yes, it has. We did see Dom already covering his ears, trying to not let the crowd affect him in this match, even though it is his hometown.
And by the way, if Ray does show up, which I strongly feel like he should, the crowd's going to go completely mental when he comes out.
100% it will.
Come on, Dom, get in the other ring. I want to see you guys fight in the other ring. I was going to say, okay, he's listening to me, but he stopped at the top of the stairs. And as per usual in the crowd, we've got the green shirt guy.
That we do.
Sitting in his usual spot, front center. Seriously, I want to meet that guy and find out how he gets his tickets.
Right?
Especially in this day and age. Is Dom hurt or is he faking?
I'm going to say I think I think this is a case of him playing possum.
Well, he bounced his head pretty good off the
Yes,
he
he
bounced his
did.
head pretty good off the cement there. Well, not the cement, but the thin mat. I think he's playing up though. The trainer's coming over. Here's the thing, though. They keep cutting to the replay, and it looks very similar to what happened to Penta. Yeah, see? John Cena taking a Pop Rocks. See, I knew it. Wow.
Wow.
What referee, what are you doing? Dude, he had John pinned. You count the friggin' 3 count. You don't yell at, you don't pull Dom off and yell. I'm sorry, ref, but that's stupid that you did that. But Roxanne and Raquel are being thrown out. I think you'll have to agree with me on that one. That was stupid of the referee to not count a 3 count.
100%. That was because the ref didn't even see it.
The ref didn't even call off the match to begin with. So the match was still continuing.
It was.
Now, with Raquel and Roxanne out of the picture, we still have JD and Finn possibly lurking somewhere.
We absolutely do.
Good, Don. Now I want Dom to win. No ifs, ands, or buts about this.
Right?
I'm sorry, Cena, but this match shouldn't be going on right now.
No, it shouldn't. This match should have been over. Come on, Dom.
No, see, finally, the referee did do something smart in pulling John off of Dom, because obviously when you're in the ropes, you cannot have shades of Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle there.
There you go.
It may take a few of those, Dom. It may take a few of them.
Yeah.
Don't fret. Just get back on him, or take the other. Oh, I thought he took the other boot off for a second. Well, okay. Put the boot back on. Here's the other thing too that we didn't even talk about. El Grande Americano could be lurking anywhere as well.
Absolutely.
Come on, Dom.
You kidding me? So Dom kicking out of the AA.
Now I gotta wonder, what was the point of him taking off the boot? I realized it was to distract John, but why put it back on? Oh, actually,
Balance, grip.
yeah, I was just gonna say, as soon as I said that, I remembered walking around in the suit and the saw ring once with socks and kind of slipping a little bit because the
Yep.
canvas, if the canvas is taut, it gets slippery. You ever notice one thing about John? Oh, down goes the ref.
Okay.
In the Phantom submission. There's JD and Finn. By the way, I got to say this. I like the fact that they ran in with no music.
Right?
There's one thing I can't stand is when they run in and they play the theme song. I understand when they used to do it in the Attitude Era for Stone Cold because the glass shatters, you get a pop out of you get a pop out of it. But it also adds an element of surprise when you do it without the theme.
Yep. John avoided both the moonsault from JD and the coup de grace from Finn, and now has them both up for that double AA.
Yeah, both men having been taking out. I thought this was going to be a point where we were going to see Ray come out.
I did too.
Dom is by the Intercontinental title. Do we? Yep. I was just going to say, do we see him grab the title and possibly use it as a weapon? Quite the coif on you there, Cena, with your hair there.
Right? Again, is this where we hear Ray's?
Oh, he's calling for a ref. I was like, who? Well, now. Liv Morgan is back. She's going to kick Dom. Maybe. Wow. She going to take out John too? Oh, look at her face. Oh, look at her face. Yep. Shades. Oh, it was a ruse. Wow. No, where's the ref? Where's the ref? We have ourselves a new Intercontinental Champion. What an ending.
Right? Wow. We called. We were wondering if Liv was going to return tonight. Do we get a cut back to the Judgment Day locker room after this?
Yeah, we got to, because we've all been saying with the disillusionment with what's going on with the Judgment Day, we've been saying, like, what is Liv going to do when she comes back and sees the disarray that the group has kind of gotten themselves in over the last while?
Right?
Now we could very well get that answer. And yeah, they did seem solidified tonight.
100% they did.
But
once again, there was no involvement from Ray on John's behalf to help him.
at
But
the same
again,
time, I
maybe
don't think
he
we.
got. I was going to say, maybe
It's-
it'll show him having been taken out in the back.
I was gonna say I'm not even sure we really needed that, but
The Godfather will be very, very happy when he gets to see this. And hopefully he will be there with us on Monday Night Raw for the Raw Patrol so that we can just see his reaction. The crowd's still going crazy for John.
getting a massive thank you chant as well. Parrish is coming in and saying John Cena has put over more women than Johnny Sins. Indeed, he has at this point. But we just saw John Cena's last PLE match. Let that sink in.
We're not there live, but doing this, we still get to be a part of history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, both Parrish and I got to be there for a John Cena match during this retirement run. And I've said it before, I will say it again. Although I was always on the Cena sucks side of the chant, thank you, John Cena, for everything.
And I've been on the same side too, but every time I've gone to see John Cena live, I got to tell you, and I'm sure you can attest to this as well, but the crowd sucks you in when they're cheering for John.
100% they do. 100% they do.
I have a video on my channel from the last show that I saw John Cena at live, which was 2010 in Barrie, where I'm cheering for John Cena behind the camera.
Right?
But on the flip side, I've also been in a heated crowd against John Cena in 06. As I mentioned earlier, John Cena was booed out of the building that night. Granted, he was taking on Edge, who is
Yep.
like a god in Toronto when it comes to wrestling.
Well, and you look at that, right? And you have that John Cena versus Edge, so you've got the hometown. You then go to the Toronto-Boston rivalry, the Raptors and
Mhm.
Celtics, the Red Sox, the Jays, the Leafs and the Bruins.
And that's the funny thing is that year at SummerSlam '06, the month prior, they were in Boston.
Yeah. We are now getting the women's WrestleMania commercial.
Okay, maybe that was the whole segments we've seen with women feet walking. There was a bunch of those little previews again across Twitter showing that. But you notice that most of these women are the women that were in the War Games match earlier tonight.
Yes.
I can get behind this. I can get behind them alternating between the men
Yep.
and the women. April 18th and April 19th, guys. Be here for the PLE Patrol for that WrestleMania. Because no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't miss WrestleMania.
Right? Mr. Best, while we were in this short ad break for Riyadh, I think it's time that the people take a good look at all of our programming here
Let's do it.
throughout the week at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, and I will be right back as well.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
That's right, folks. If you want all the information on all the programming that we have here, all you got to do is go to turnbucklestudios.org, click that shows button. It will show you all of the latest programming. Once again, that website is turnbucklestudios.org. Right now, coming up next, though, guys, Nikki Bella challenges Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Women's World Championship. This is the match that OMD called his sleeper match.
Oh, you only wish. This is the match I'm going to actually probably nap through. I hope it's better than I am anticipating, but this is not something I need or want to see for Nikki Bella.
See, this is a match too that I knew was going to come, but I still feel like it was too soon for it to happen.
Right.
I needed at least another month or two of Nikki and Steph showing their friendship. I needed Steph to defend her title tonight against somebody else.
Right.
And tonight is where I would have done the turn. Because then you could do, or no, I wouldn't have done the turn tonight. I would have done it at Saturday night's main event. Now I know that they're doing an NXT versus main roster thing, or that's the rumor going around.
Right.
But if I would have done that at Saturday night's main event, or at least the first Raw of the new year, and then you build to them having a match at the Royal Rumble, that would have been, I think, the perfect timing, because it would have made more sense. There would have been a little bit more emotional involvement between them, knowing that they've been friends for several months, and then this happened.
Right. At the same time, and I'm going to say this, maybe it's, I think they rushed the Nikki Bella Becky Lynch situation. I think they're rushing this situation as well. And maybe I'm going to try and put a positive spin on this. Maybe it's for the best and you can get Nikki into not necessarily a lesser feud, but maybe a feud that's not going to be revolving around titles or contention with somebody who can help elevate her even more so than Becky Lynch did, and now Stephanie Vaquer will.
Yeah, I think with Nikki, because she does have star power, I will give her that.
Yeah.
I think if you start putting her up against upping women, maybe put her in a match against, say, Lyra Valkyria, Sol Ruka if she goes to the main roster, even Jordan Grace when she comes to the main roster.
Yeah.
That's where I think you can put Nikki in that case.
Yeah, and we've seen Nikki have those matches with a Roxanne Perez, with a Raquel Rodriguez. I think now is maybe where you need, and I'm going to be honest, where I think Nikki would honestly fit best as a way to help elevate not only herself, but elevate some up and coming women. Put her with Fatal Influence.
That could work, but I actually like the way that they're doing things right now. I've been saying this, but I feel like I forget her NXT name right now. Oh, Blake Monroe just popped in my head. I feel like Blake Monroe would be a better fit there.
You know what? And I see where you're coming from, but I have always been a fan of Blake Monroe, Mariah May on the mic. And that goes back to her time affiliated with a Tony Storm as well. So she was really able to learn and grasp that. But
yeah, but JC Jane and her cutting promos together would be awesome. Because JC's not bad on the mic either.
No, she's not. Now, we just saw the surprise return of Liv Morgan. I know what I have read and heard, but I'm going to ask, do we get the surprise return of Brie Bella tonight?
I'm going to say no because it wouldn't do anything. Because Liv Morgan's surprise appearance, granted, we had been saying for the last couple of weeks that she's due back any time now, and I said that based on personal experience because I suffered the same injury she did.
Right.
I'm gonna say no because again, it doesn't do anything in this event.
Right.
But if we do get a Brie Bella return at some point, we talked about the beefing up of the women's tag division. The Bellas could very well be. For a second, I saw Bella and I thought I saw Brie Bella on the Titantron. That would be another way too, because you could use the star power of the Bellas to help elevate the women's tag division a little bit. I wouldn't say put the tag titles on them, but just have them there as, I wouldn't say a filler, but like a spot where they can still challenge for the tag titles, but not necessarily win them.
Right.
You know what kind of spot I'm talking about?
Yep. Nikki coming out with a t-shirt that says Bella gonna ball. Not sure what it's saying on the back because her hair is hanging down over it.
It's just a jersey number.
Okay.
But I didn't know this. She's also from San Diego, as it just said on her graphics there.
I thought they were from Scottsdale, Arizona.
No, she said she was born in San Diego.
Okay, so she could have been born in San Diego, but grown up and raised in Scottsdale. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's like Chris Jericho. He was born in Manhasset, New York, but raised in Winnipeg. Okay, the lighting looks really cool for Stephanie's entrance right now.
Yes, it does. I am
Feel sorry
digging.
for anybody who has epilepsy right now, though.
Yeah.
There is just something out of when it comes to Stephanie's entrance that I do want to see. I know that she feels special regardless of her when she comes out, but I need her to do just a little bit more in her entrance, just a little bit.
Right. Stephanie is one, like, because if you look, you've got the horns, you've got the goat. She's almost one that I would want to see take over the cane thing with raising the arms up, dropping them down, and getting the pyro up.
Hmm. Well, she is the winningest superstar of 2025, having 27 wins. That could have also belonged to Tiffany Stratton, but that's not the case, as she is no longer the women's champion and has lost the title to Jade Cargill.
Yes. And
And
keep in mind,
lost
when
it.
Tiffany lost at Crown Jewel, that was her first loss of the calendar year.
And that was to Stephanie Vaquer.
Yes, it was.
But there is a look of determination on Stephanie's face. And on the flip
Oh,
side,
yes.
with Nikki, she's got a bit of a cocky look to her face.
And, I find it interesting because when they started Dom and John's match, they started it in the ring to my left from where I'm looking. Now they're coming over to the further ring to start this match.
And that's what they used to do with WCW WarGames, and they do that every year. They alternate the rings for each match. They even used to do that with WCW World War III. They used to alternate the matches between the three rings.
Yep.
And that was, from what I've read from people who have worked in WCW, who have done interviews and whatnot, they've all said it was more or less so that each section of the fans that were around the ring could easily see the action, because I've heard reports from some cases, especially at War Games, where it was difficult, or not War Games, World War III, where it was difficult for fans on one side of the arena to see the other side of the ring,
Yep.
or the other side of the arena to watch the action.
Yep. And I can absolutely understand that.
And that's where I've always thought to myself, if I ever went to a War Games, I would sit in a bowl seat so I can see everything.
Yeah.
To be fair, my personal preference for going to any live event is a bowl seat, so you can see everything going on.
Right.
But Nikki starting this off by pummeling Stephanie Vaquer, and I use that term lightly because it didn't look as fast and as intense as it really should be.
No.
But an interesting choice of colors here from Nikki Bella. Those are the colors of her brother-in-law. Daniel Bryan used to wear those colors.
Yes,
Bryan
he did.
Danielson.
But the Bellas have always primarily been known for red with the black trim.
Yeah, we've got maroon though this time.
Yes, we do.
Which again, as I said, that was Daniel Bryan's colors because he did the maroon, the white, and the black.
Yep. And Nikki with the word fearless in the same spot on the tights as the dragon would be.
And this match is sponsored by WWE Supercard. I'm actually glad that that game, for as long as it's been around, that WWE still promotes it. And from what I understand, the player base is still pretty strong in that game.
Right. It is something I was playing for a little while a number of years ago, but I just didn't keep up with it.
I have it downloaded to my phone. I just haven't found the time to get back into it.
Right. Well, I know with everything you do for us here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, you're really, really busy.
Yeah, dude, like I said, I've been working on stuff all day since the time I woke up. Thank God our sponsor, Swift Energy, sent me some free stuff.
Nice.
But I am actually surprised. I won't lie. I'm actually surprised that that Nikki is just overtaking Stephanie Vaquer here.
Yes, she
And
is.
she's
And
doing,
Nikki being very methodical.
well, I was gonna say she's doing what I've been saying for weeks that you need to do against somebody like a Stephanie Vaquer, and that's keeping on her. But then she got up and decided she was gonna taunt around for a little bit.
Yep. Nikki's showing a little more fight than I was anticipating, so I'm okay with this so far. But Nikki
See what?
is taking too much time to placate to the crowd.
And like I said already, you don't do that with somebody the likes of Stephanie Vaquer because sure she's a rookie in the WWE standard, but you got to take a look at how long she's been in the wrestling business as a whole.
Right.
With her experience, you don't mess around with someone like her. But at the same
No,
time, with Nikki's experience, you don't mess around with that either.
not at all.
But
I mean, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, Nikki Bella is a WWE Hall of Famer.
yeah, that just made me realize there's 3 active people in the Hall of Fame who are still active in the WWE. Rey Mysterio, Nikki Bella, Paul Heyman.
Yep. Now, I want to go back to the end of the last match, and I know I'm expecting it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Would you have liked to see somebody like a Ray come out, thank John, and tell him here tonight in San Diego that he's going into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania?
I'm not sure, but Stephanie was just trying to look for the KOD, but I can't tell who rolled out of that, really. Was Stephanie going for the KOD on the apron?
Looked like she was going to go for the Devil's Kiss on the apron.
Or, yeah, why am I calling it the Kiss of Death?
I don't know. We haven't seen Bianca Belair in a while.
Yeah. The Devil's Kiss. Kiss of Death. Sounds the same to me, but yeah, it is what it is.
They both involve a kiss and doom.
Okay, here's the thing I kind of want to see. The Devil's Kiss on that metal grating in between the ring.
I can get behind
Because
that.
if you're as mad as Stephanie Vaquer is at Nikki, or has seemed to be in the promos that we've seen leading up to this match, that's where I would hit the Devil's Kiss. Man, I love Stephanie Vaquer's snap suplex.
Yep. And Stephanie really turning up the pace in this match.
I was gonna say the snap suplex totally reminds me of another Canadian who had a perfect snap suplex in Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here at Turnbuckle Studios, the name Chris Benoit can be spoken.
Why? Because we talk about his in-ring, not his personal stuff, not what happened outside of it.
Exactly. Oh.
Every time she hits that dragon screw, I feel it in my knee.
I know. I'm feeling it in my hammy and my quad as well right now.
She's so picture perfect with it, though.
Yep.
Man, that's a cool shot.
It is. I love it. Thank you to the Goodyear blimp.
I gotta say though, every time I think of the Goodyear blimp, I think of a scene in the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when they're at the saloon.
Yep.
I'm sure you've seen that movie.
Oh yes.
When they're at the saloon and those cowboys come up to try and fight him, and then Bill's like, "Look," and Ted's like, "It's the Goodyear blimp," and they turn around and look. I love it. Bill and Ted will always be one of my favorite comedies.
Oh yeah.
All three of them.
I
did
the
at one.
newest one.
Well, just go in with if you do ever get the chance to watch it, go in with the lowest of expectations. I made the mistake of watching it during the pandemic with the highest of expectations. But I've learned to appreciate the movie since then.
Right.
But just as I'm actually appreciating what these women are actually doing in the ring right now.
Yes. What a kick we just got from Nikki and the rack attack. Stephanie just getting her foot under the rope. This almost brings me back to wishing we could get like a Ring of Honor style pure match where you get 3 rope breaks per match and then submissions can count in the ropes and all of that.
She was, oh, jeez. Gee, the knee across the throat and stepping on the throat beforehand.
Yep.
I'm going to point this out for the men's war games, but I'm looking at the big prime bottle. I
You
still
gotta
think
get
that
that
this
into
could
the.
happen.
Yep.
I feel like Logan Paul brings it in. It
You know
makes
what?
sense because it's his product.
Instead of the
Oh,
trash can, why don't we get Io Sky to do that? Oh, the devil's kiss on the announce table.
Wade Barrett's like, what do I do?
But you'd have to make it a little bit bigger. But instead of the trash can, use the prime bottle for Io Sky.
Get KSI dressed up in the prime bottle and have him jump off again.
There you go. Nikki seems to have really now awoken something with that slap to Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, she's now going for the second devil's kiss within the ring. Or this time in the ring. Not quite locked in as she usually gets it, though. Now, I've got to wonder if this is the finality between these two, where do we go with Stephanie after this? Because we've already talked about where we could see Nikki going.
I think you now have to look to a Bailey, to a Lyra. Maybe this is where you get an up-and-comer. Maybe you have to look at somebody. Let's give Stephanie a match against somebody from NXT at Saturday night's main event. And I'm going to say this. Champ match. Stephanie Vaquer versus JCJ in the rematch.
What about this? Considering she just returned tonight, Liv Morgan probably wants her championship back.
You could absolutely do that too.
Just as we have just seen Stephanie Vaquer successfully defend her title against Nikki Bella in what turned out to be a very dominant finish.
Yes, but a far better match than I was expecting.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew from Tuesday that you were going to say that.
I was hoping to say it.
Because if there's anything that I've learned from, especially watching wrestling in the pandemic, to go in with the lowest of expectations. I saw the lights going off and I thought somebody else was coming out. All right, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Grayson Waller. What's going on here? Okay. I get it. Xavier Woods is a gamer. But you're a heel. Heels should not be the ones promoting your products.
They shouldn't be, but it's also not the first time we've seen this. We've seen Tiffany Stratton as a heel doing WWE shop commercials. We've seen Dom and Liv.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's most fans will look at it and be like, and I know that again, Xavier Woods is appealing to the gamer audience because up, down, down, a lot of people still tune in and watch him on there. I'm guilty of it. I watch it every once in a while. But if you're the
Right.
heel, you shouldn't be on WWE. You shouldn't be promoting the product. That should be up to the baby faces.
Right. As we are getting a recap of Liv Morgan's return and Dom recapturing the Intercontinental Championship.
As we're getting a promotion for Monday or for the tournament right now, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Gunther are the 4 remaining members in the tournament.
Yes. And I'm assuming that do both of those matches take place on Monday? Or do we get Sikoa and Gunther on Monday, Uso and LA Knight on Friday?
Yeah. Because if you recall, on Monday they had said the winner of the LA Knight Miz match, they had said during the course of that match that they take on Jey Uso next week.
Okay.
But the men's War Games match is up next. And do you believe it's time we take another commercial break?
I think so. And ladies and gentlemen, we need your help.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that site, turnbucklestudios.org. Hit the join button, send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you, and we can sit down as a collective to figure out the best fit. Meet the team. Chris Best, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, and Carl Carafel. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one, which will be uploaded to the site a little bit later tonight. Hit the shop button to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Get all the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program merch. Turnbucklestudios.org, ladies and gentlemen. It is the hottest site on the internet. Once again, do it, and do it now. So we are heading into...
Yeah, and I did play the shows earlier, and I forgot to...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was still trying to do some promotion here. I forgot to add during when we played when we showed the commercial for regarding our shows. Programming note: next week there will be a watch party for NXT Deadline, as hosted by Chris Parrish, as well. Saturday night gaming once again becomes Saturday afternoon gaming, and as I announced earlier on today's show, we're taking a bye week for Madden. And we're gonna do a one-off game. I don't know what it is just yet, but I'll figure it out.
All right. All right. So as we head into the men's War Games match, and again, I've taken perhaps the most controversial stance out of all of us here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program with my stance on it, although I'm looking forward to the match. Should we expect any surprises for this?
If you try to run in and surprise on Brock Lesnar, rest in peace to you.
Okay.
But there's
And
one thing I didn't put together in this match until, like, again, watching the pre-show earlier. I didn't realize how many monsters were on the heel side. I mean, you got Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar.
right?
Logan Paul is the smallest guy in this match, basically.
Yeah.
Or on the heel side, I should say, because I think the smallest guy is probably actually Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso. Either one of
Yeah.
them two.
In terms of height, it's probably Braun Breaker. In terms of power, it's Logan Paul. Who do you see as the number one entrance for each team?
I'm going to go Bronson Reed for the heels. And Jimmy for the baby faces.
Okay. I'm going to go with Jay for the baby faces. For the heels, I'm actually going to go with Logan Paul.
Yeah, I didn't think of this, but with Jay, I think they want to get that visual of the 45,000 people doing the yeet. So maybe Jay is the one who starts it off.
And we know that the heel team, the Vision with Drew McIntyre, and yeah, I think you've got to go with Jay number one. They have the advantage in this match.
Yeah, and when I was looking at like who could start off at the heels, I took a look at like who is the lowest on the card, and hey, there's Gabriel Luna, one of my favorite actors right now. But I was looking at like who actually like is the lowest on the card, and I gotta go with Bronson Reed, despite the fact that all five of those guys on the heel side are basically in that main event. But if I were to break it down further, I think Bronson Reed is the lowest of them all. And there's Carl's, and I believe yours. Yeah, Topanga, Danielle Fishel.
See, and I got to be honest, because for me personally, Bronson Reed is actually, I won't say surpassed Braun Breaker, but he's got the 2 victories over Roman Reigns. He's really been pushing and elevating himself, where Braun Breaker has now sort of stepped back and he's just sort of become the muscle for Bronson.
Oh, they got the seed upgrade from Xfinity.
They did, but you just talked about this, and it was a heel, Roxanne Perez, presenting the upgrade.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but that needs to be a babyface doing that. Man, I love these skyline shots for all the cities that we see them go to. And I say this as as a person who edits like a lot of the intros for the PLE Patrol. Granted, this time around I didn't do any skyline shots or a skyline shot of the background. I just find myself just completely flabbergasted with the amount of cool shots that people can do with drones. As we're
Yeah.
looking at 46,016 people, a record attendance for Survivor Series at Petco Park, but Survivor Series in general. And that's expected because I mean this is the first stadium show that they've done Survivor Series in, which to
Yeah.
me proves that this is a success for Survivor Series. And dare I say it, I think going forward, Survivor Series becomes a stadium show.
I hope so. I'm really, really liking the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
loving the feel of the show. It's been a great show so far, start to finish, following this match.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I have been completely captivated by this show right from the opening bell.
You know, we've talked about how the song War Pigs by Ozzy has been the theme for War Games.
Yes.
But we've also talked about just how tiresome the song can get, as it's been the constant for the last however long WWE has had War Games now.
Right.
What are some replacement songs that you could think of that could work this? And I'd like to go first just quickly here, but the end is near. The theme song they used for Armageddon 2000 could easily fit in with War Games.
I was thinking about this earlier as well. And I'm going to go to another metal band from my past. I'm going to go with Pantera and Mouth for War. As we are getting the recap of everything that has led up to Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns' introductions into this match. Now,
It's
this
the
is
same pattern.
Cody's, yeah, the same night. This is Cody's second War Games, as he did compete on a team with Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Randy Orton, and I can't remember the fifth member 2 years ago, or 2 years ago when Randy Orton, yes, 2 years when Randy Orton and CM Punk both returned on the same night in Chicago.
Yeah, and I remember a lot of people are like, "Oh, CM Punk's not going to return because that's going to overshadow Randy Orton's return." It so did not, actually.
It didn't, because they timed that beautifully. Because they did try and tease, or they had Rhea come running out with Damien's Money in the Bank briefcase, making it look like he was going to cash in when Randy's music hit.
Yeah, you're right. This
Oh, it was Seth Rollins was the fifth guy on that team.
yeah, because Rollins was ticked off about Punk's return.
Yeah.
And we're still feeling the repercussions from that, by the way.
Yes, we are.
But it actually surprised me. Like, now I'm trying to remember, because Cody wasn't in last year's War Games. Where was Cody? He wasn't even on the card that night. Was he injured?
No. It might have just been one of those situations where they didn't need him.
Let's take a look at the events that were around then. Oh, that's right. Because he wrestled Crown Jewel earlier that month against Gunther.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, he was in between storylines at the point. So yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Starting off with CM Punk.
I can get behind this.
What a banger of a way to start this off.
So do we open this with Punk and Lesnar? Or Punk and Drew?
Who does Punk have the most heat with on that side right now? He has an equal amount of heat with all of them.
He does.
He also has the history with Brock Lesnar.
He does. Wearing a jacket that says Larry's dad.
A tribute to his dog.
Yes.
His and AJ Lee's dog. And the jacket is in the style of the Ribera Steakhouse jacket he actually used to wear at one point, too.
Yep.
Speaking of, anytime I go to Japan, I'm going to that restaurant. There is no question about that.
Right?
I say anytime like I'm going to hop a plane and go there tomorrow.
Right. Now, it was when Punk won the heavyweight championship month or so ago at Saturday night's main event. The first guy to come out to challenge him was Logan Paul, and he was saying no, anybody but this guy, setting up that attack from the Vision. Do we go right to that and get Logan Paul to start this match?
As soon as you said that, I'm like, it's Logan Paul he's got the most heat with, because Logan Paul is going to be the next challenger for Punk's title. That's a given.
Okay.
I think that's a given, at least. But it's possible, but at the same time, I kind of want to save Logan Paul for a little later on in the match, because as I've said, I feel like Logan Paul is going to be there to do the high spot of the match.
Right.
But we did see CM Punk pay a little tribute to AJ Lee from earlier tonight by climbing into the cage as opposed to walking through the door as the referee tried to hold the door open for him.
Yep.
But like a monkey, he decided to climb the cage. Oh, I'm thinking, what if they book in the baby faces with Punk coming in now and Cody Rhodes coming in last? And I say that because of the fact that they both have the
Right.
heavyweight titles.
I was going to say, I think you can do that, but I think at the same time, with the way they built this, you build to Brock and Roman as the last two.
Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, either one of them two. Oh, Braun Breaker.
All right.
I like this.
Yeah, you and me too.
This is fresh.
Yes. And no
This-
Paul Heyman with Braun Breaker.
I don't think we need Paul Heyman out there for this match.
We don't, but we do know that he will be there because of Brock Lesnar, because of the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask this. If the heel team wins, if the Vision and Logan Paul win, do we see a guy like Drew shake hands with Paul Heyman and say, I want in?
It could be the deciding factor that Drew could need to get the championship he's been trying to go after. But I feel like at the same time, well, we all know that after this match, he has to go back to serving his suspension.
Right. Braun Breaker wearing a very plain looking singlet tonight. I didn't see anything yet. I saw something towards the leg on the trunk, but on the front, nothing on the back.
It's his badass dog on his tights. Okay, for a second, I thought they were starting in the right ring. Punk is acknowledging Braun Breaker.
He is. Everybody involved in this match has a past or a present with Paul Heyman. Except for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' history with Paul Heyman, as we know, is very, very personal, away from the wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm. We have a slow and methodical start to this match, but you know what? That's the smart way you want to start a match like this, especially when you know you're going to be in it for the long haul when you're the first two guys in it. Because the way you should be starting this match is the speed of Braun Breaker, but the way you want to start this match is by pacing yourself. It's just like if you were the first two entrants in the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
You want to pace yourself because you want to make it to the end to win.
Absolutely.
And in this case, you want to pace yourself because you know that once that ring fills up, it's going to get intense. Once both rings fill up, I should say.
Absolutely. Now, we have already seen Punk using his cage match and War Games experience, blocking a couple of attempted tosses into the wall of the cage from Braun Breaker. But Braun just showcasing his speed and power with that early slam on Punk and then getting him up, attempting the gorilla press.
We've also seen Braun Breaker using his experience in War Games in stopping Punk's attempts at throwing him into the cage as well.
Yes. Well, that's right.
Like
I
we
forgot
said,
Braun was in a War Games in NXT.
Yep. He was a part of NXT 2.0 when they took on Black and Gold.
Yep.
It was during the pandemic, and it was one of the few shining moments of the pandemic, to be completely honest with you. Or the few shining moments of the NXT 2.0 era, to be honest with you. but Bron is just exerting his power right now. And just like Rick and Scott, he's doing exactly what Rick and Scott used to do, and that's pick you up and throw you around.
Yep.
I was going to say, Bron, there's no way you're going to execute a superplex with Punk in that kind of a position.
No.
Bron looks stunned by that clothesline.
Yes, he does.
Okay, here's where the advantage falls apart on Punk here.
Yes, it does. And I think I'm going to take Drew McIntyre in this number 2 spot.
I'm going to go Bronson Reed still.
Okay.
And Drew. I'll admit that I've been wrong on most of the predictions, but we were wrong on everything for the women's War Games for who's coming out too.
We absolutely were. And Drew has that well-documented history with Punk that ate him up for the better part of last year.
And let's not forget, Seth wasn't the only one upset the night that Punk returned. No. Drew McIntyre walked out that night.
Yes, he did.
Let's not forget, also, Drew McIntyre blamed CM Punk for Damian Priest cashing in on him.
Yep.
However, that was Drew's fault.
Yes,
Drew chose to get distracted by Punk.
Yep.
Punk wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting at ringside doing commentary.
He was. He was.
But the hatred between these two is strong as we see them trading fists now.
Yes, and these two have already gone to hell and back inside the cell.
Yep. There's one thing I'm noticing right now between Drew and Bron, and their outfit looks are pretty similar.
And the Drew's way more from Drew.
Drew's got a bit more of a white silver kind of thing going on, but it still looks pretty similar. Like they could be a tag team. I've got to wonder if we see Brock Lesnar, if we see Bronson Reed and Logan Paul doing the same thing. Well, I don't know about Logan Paul because he tends to wear yellow a lot.
Right. And I wonder, and I'm just going to put this out there, is because they are wearing the black and silver, is that a play for the Vegas Raiders, of course, being in San Diego, the former home of the Chargers?
It's hard to say. Oh, that is silver on Bron. It looked white under certain lighting, but when he was just walking up, you saw the silver bouncing off of his lettering. Now I wonder who's going to come out to make the save and help Punk out.
This I gotta say, it's probably got to be Jimmy.
I was going to say Jay. But Jimmy makes sense too, because it was Punk who called Jimmy and asked him to join the team.
Yep.
Was it not?
It was.
Now, dare I say it, because now that the shark cage has been taken out, because I thought we were going to see a heel turn from Jimmy, and my thought was it was going to be very similar to Dakota Kai when she turned heel on
Right.
Tegan Knox, I believe it was.
Yep.
I don't think that's the case now.
I think you could still get it. And again, I hearken back to the fact that there is no shark cage, so you could see it.
Oh, both heavyweight champions are the first two men on the babyface side starting things off.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, you were saying about Jimmy and Drew. Why are you doing that when, again, Cody climbed the cage? That's all you got to do.
Yeah. So you could see it as one of them is laid out, much like we saw a couple of months ago with Jacob Fatu, only for them to get up, come back out, get into the match, and do that heel turn.
Oh, that Cody, that was Punk. That was an accident. That was an accident, guys. Punk is busted open, by the way.
Yes,
I
he
didn't see
is.
how he got busted open.
Probably from one of the two shots into the. And now Cody and Punk. Oh, no, Punk shoving Cody out of the way, taking the bullet for him.
I think Punk realizes that was an accident. Because we're getting the heart attack right now.
We are.
Shades of the Heart Foundation there. I like it. But a little history with War Games. Yeah, we all know that it was Cody's dad, Dusty, who created it. But earlier they showed a Did You Know? Dusty was never ever defeated inside War Games.
I did, actually.
I did too. But this leads me to believe that I wonder if they do the same thing when it comes to Cody. But on the flip side, Io Sky's never been beaten inside War Games, and she won tonight.
Yep. I don't think you need to go to that. They've never been beaten. I think once you ended the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, I sort of think that took away the need for all of that.
Yeah, but right now we do have a streak of winning War Games with Io, so
We do. So we've seen a heart attack. We've seen a doomsday device.
shades of men who've wrestled in War Games, I guess, because Brett's wrestled in War Games.
Yep. So did the Road Warriors.
They teamed with Dusty and Nikita Koloff in a War Games match I watched actually yesterday afternoon.
There you go.
Against the Horsemen.
All right. So now I'm going to go with Bronson Reed for the Vision.
I'm just going to keep saying Bronson Reed too. I'm going to get it right eventually. Logan Paul. Okay, Bronson Reed is next for them.
And Logan Paul coming out wearing the black and silver.
Showing the unity.
I love it.
I gotta say, Logan Paul actually does look a lot better than the black and blue or whatever it was he does usually wear.
Yep.
Drew, what are you doing? Let him weapons.
And notice the writing, the way it's written on his tights. It's very reminiscent now of the NWO.
Yeah, I could sort of see it. Just as I thought, Logan Paul's here to do the high flying stuff.
Yep, but I mean, what a move there from Logan Paul, diving over the 2 sets of ropes to put down CM Punk.
Yeah, and here's the thing: we've seen maneuvers like that before, but most of the time we'd see a bit of the top rope get clipped a bit. But Logan cleared those top ropes.
Yes. And Logan already going to the top of the cage?
So is Cody.
So we know that if one member leaves, their team forfeits. What happens if one member from each team happens to go out at the same time?
Well, remember what the rules said earlier. Once War Games starts, if you leave the cage, it's over. War Games hasn't started yet.
So next up for the baby faces, because they've shocked us with this, I'm going to take Roman Reigns.
I'm gonna go Jimmy. Logan Paul more or less directing traffic right now. As soon as I say that, he goes over to help Drew with a possible, double suplex coming up. Oh, I see how the camera's mounted up there. They've got a full-on broadcast camera sitting up there on top of the cage.
The thing I am liking about this compared to the shark cage is now you're getting these wrestlers their intro as opposed to just the cage door opening and they're running out because they didn't get their theme music, they didn't get their Tron.
And here comes Jimmy.
All right.
But I still like the idea of the shark cages because there was still that element of mystery because we'd see that countdown, but then we'd see the teammates conferencing about who should come out next beforehand.
Yeah.
Or Roman Reigns just, let's say if Jay was on his way, you'd see Roman Reigns stopping Jay and then maybe telling Sami Zayn to go to the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy, I was hoping you'd grab something. Yep. We got to get the Slim Jim tables out. I will say this about the tables with the Slim Jim marketing on them. It's a brilliant move by Slim Jim to do that, because the table in most of these matches, the table is usually the spot that ends up finishing the match. So your last thought is going through the table and you see the Slim Jim logo.
You know what though, for this, I think Logan Paul would be smart to get Prime onto the table.
That's legitimately why, like I said, he should have brought in the Prime bottle.
Yeah. And Drew with another Claymore there to Jimmy Uso.
But you know what I do expect, and I bet he's got it hidden somewhere in his tights. I do expect the brass knucks to come into play.
I think so.
And if the heels were to take the win, because I feel like that they're going to build to, excuse me, to Punk and Logan.
Right.
Dare I say it? I think Logan gets the pin on Punk.
Okay. So as we
Because
saw
you want
last night,
because you want Punk to be ticked off that he
right.
took this as his loss, and then you have Punk challenge Logan Paul, but Logan Paul this time says no, and it gets to a point where Adam Pearce has to step in and force the match.
Yeah. So you're going, and I'm with you. I think Team Vision takes the win. But as we saw last night in the Survivor Series style elimination match on SmackDown, we saw them build up the MFTs, getting that victory to, and I don't know if that match truly established them as that dominant stable. Only to then be confronted by the Wyatts. So who would you see coming out to confront the Vision potentially after this?
I still see Punk as being that leading guy to do it.
Okay.
He is your world heavyweight champion.
Now you're going to get Bronson Reed.
Yep. And see, this is why I said Bron or Bronson at the start, because obviously they both have the same red lighting due to the fact that they are teammates.
Yes.
Okay, Bron. One thing I gotta ask of you: don't get injured in this match like you did the last War Games you were in.
Yes. Please, no tsunami off the top of the structure.
Well, no breaking your foot off the tsunami, because that's what did it. And I think he's looking for a tsunami, anyways. Yep, on Punk. And here's the other thing on the flip side too. Roman is going to still very much be involved in this too, because we're building to Roman and Braun at WrestleMania. I feel like, and I still feel like there's more to be said with with Bronson Reed as well.
100% there is. I'm even going to ask this. Do you go to a 6-man tag of Roman and the Usos against Braun, Bronson, and Brock or Logan or Drew?
Sorry, say that again. I was distracted with Bronson dominating everybody.
Do we get a potential 6-man with Roman and the Usos, the Bloodline, versus Braun, Bronson, and Brock, Logan, Drew?
Well, I kind of think that because Drew's going to, like I said, he's going to go back to serving his suspension after Survivor
Right.
Series, because I feel like we're going to Royal Rumble with Drew and Cody again for the championship.
Okay.
So I think I would eliminate Drew from that equation.
Okay.
But I would keep Logan in because they are trying to, it does feel like that they're getting ready to move Logan into that main event slot.
Right.
And if you want to continue that feud, as much as I know Brock doesn't really wrestle on Raw, neither does Roman Reigns. I think we could get it on an episode of Raw, possibly.
Right. And I'm going to go to this because we did see Raw, specifically in the US, everywhere else internationally, the WWE moved to Netflix January of this year. Do we get a special 1-year anniversary episode on the first Raw of the new year on Netflix? that you
Well,
can
here's
do
the
something like that.
Well, here's the thing, right? Every time they do the first Raw of the new year, it's always something special. And I'm going all the way back to like 2001. And this was also, I think this was also the first Raw to go to TNN. I'm not quite certain, but Jey Uso's making his way out. I remember on that very specific episode of Raw, we had Stone Cold challenging Kurt Angle for the WWF title.
Right.
And then the year prior, the first Raw, which was a January 4th, which was a January 3rd episode, my birthday, Big Show defended the WWF title against Triple H. The year prior, in 99, the January 4th Raw of 99, Mick Foley winning the title from The Rock. So I feel like you could do that match on that first episode of Raw in the new year.
Yeah. Or do you
Like I
save
said-
that? And I'm going to say this. We know that would be a WrestleMania caliber match. Do you save it for the Raw after WrestleMania? For that blockbuster, you just tease a mystery match. And all of a sudden, we're getting Brock and Roman on the Raw after WrestleMania instead of Mania itself.
I think that would have to depend if they are going with Roman and Braun. I think that would have to depend on which night that match would take place.
Okay.
Because what I expect in in that possible match is just nothing but a knockdown, drag out brawl, as we are having a super kick party in the ring right now. Jimmy and Jay kicking everyone and the 1D, and whoa. I think Logan came in a little fast on that one.
I think so.
Yeah, Jimmy, let's roll it back. Right in the middle. Oh, he's going. Are you going up to the cage? Oh, I thought you were going on top of the cage to do it.
Okay.
I like this.
You know, you're the one who keeps advocating for stay on them, and now you want him to run it back and you're enjoying it. I know we're getting that, what you wanted to see, which is that visual of everybody eating.
But here's the thing. Jay is doing the yeeting, but he's got teammates beating up everybody in the ring. And two of them have had chairs in Punk and Cody. And Brock Lesnar's like, screw this. I don't care what the time. I'm coming out.
Yep. With Paul Heyman.
This is where the rest of the boys have got to get serious now.
Oh, yes.
Because I've stated this. I don't expect Brock Lesnar to go underneath the ring and pull out weapons, because Brock is the weapon. And right away, he goes right at... Oh. See, this is the thing, guys. You all need to attack him at the same time, not this one-on-one thing. Now, there are men in that ring on the opposite side who have defeated Brock Lesnar in the past. Punk has defeated Brock Lesnar, as has Cody Rhodes.
Yes. There are men on his own team that have defeated him.
Here's the thing, though. With Cody, Brock has never beaten Cody. Brock's beaten Punk before.
I thought Brock won one of the
sorry.
3 that he had with Cody.
That's right. He did. But Brock has beaten Punk before. Brock has, I believe, also beaten Drew.
I believe so. And Brock now standing there admiring his carnage.
This is all to lead to Roman's saving the moment, I guess you could say. Oh,
yep.
Punk's got himself an equalizer, but it's not going to stay in his hand long.
As soon as any one of these guys tries to get up, start getting a little bit of offense in, Brock just turns it around.
Like I said, they all needed to jump him at the same time.
Yep. But then you get that monster spot where they're all doing that and Brock shrugs everybody off.
Brock with a chair. That's just as dangerous as Brock without a chair. If not even more.
Right? As we now await the arrival of...
That's why that rule's been introduced, because Brock Lesnar just stepped outside the cage.
He did.
Acknowledge him. Roman is just, Brock Lesnar cutting him off at the entranceway.
Yep.
Okay, but here's the thing. Roman has yet to enter the ring.
Yes.
Roman has just been taken out. WarGames won't start just yet until Roman Reigns gets inside there.
Right. Well, and I was going to say, what would happen if Roman got in the ring and Brock was on the outside? Do they actually start the War Games and get the forfeit, or?
I think it'd be the same thing. You'd have to wait until Brock Lesnar got back in. Because the rules state that everybody has to be in the ring for War Games to begin. I'm glad I made note of that rule change earlier tonight, just because of what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And didn't I say too, just make a mental note of that?
Yep.
Because it told me like when I saw that something is going to happen outside the cage. And now War Games begins.
And little Nate in one ring. Who's the ref in the other?
Roman is still too fresh for that, Brock. Even with Cody's interference, I think Brock would have kicked out of that. Or I mean, Roman would have kicked out of that. Cody, I would not have let go of that. I would have. Where did Logan Paul come from?
Off the top rope.
Oh, okay. Look, yeah, Heyman's got the brass knucks. But as I was saying with Cody there, I would not have let go of that crossroads, and I would have gone for the triple as Logan Paul just knocked out Cody. Now he's knocked out Jimmy. And he's standing tall over Punk right now. Oh, is he teasing the Superman punch with the knucks?
Yep.
Yep. I knew it. I knew Roman was going to hit the spear.
Oh, and now Roman has the brass knucks.
Oh, jeez. And down goes Bronson. Down goes Drew. This could be the deciding factor that puts an end to Brock Lesnar. But here we go, guys. A tease for what I've been saying could very well be the match for Roman and Bron at WrestleMania. And now Jay telling
Does Brock get out of the way, though, and Roman hit Jay?
Nope, Brock doesn't move at all. He gets speared through the table.
Okay.
There's one thing I will say about this. They've consistently sold this. Brock has consistently sold this, but we're like more than 10 years removed from the serious diverticulitis attacks that Brock Lesnar has had. I still like the fact that he sells the abdominal hits like it's like death to him. Because, well, I mean, his diverticulitis attacks were serious enough that he did have to have stomach surgery.
Yes, he did. Now Braun Breaker over on Cody Rhodes. Braun with a little cut under his eye.
He had Punk in his sights, but Punk, being the wily veteran he is, stepping aside here.
Yes.
And Logan Paul's going to sleep, but I think Braun is still up somewhere. Who's that? Somebody's climbing into the cage.
I see that.
Who is it? It's Seth Rollins.
Of course it is.
Or is it?
Austin Theory.
Who was that?
I don't know. But that is something I've been hearing, is that Austin Theory was supposed to play a monumental role in War Games.
Braun Breaker with the pin and the win on CM Punk. That is huge.
Yes, it is. Wow. And Team Vision winning War Games.
We knew we with the amount of times we've mentioned who could take the pin, for everybody we talked about, we mentioned Punk taking the pin.
We did.
Because we thought Logan Paul. We didn't really say Bronson Reed, but we thought Drew McIntyre taking the pin. We thought Brock Lesnar doing it. But the question remains is, as I'm looking at it, I don't think that's Seth Rollins. That guy looks bigger than Seth.
Yes, he does. Trick Williams?
Of course he's wearing a hoodie. But even Braun Breaker looks like he saw a ghost.
Could it have just been Seth Rollins, just for the fact that he wanted to stop CM Punk in this match, not necessarily doing it for the Vision?
And see, that's why I thought Seth, because I'm like, are we getting this Seth faking the injury thing again? But I thought about this, quickly thought about it. I'm like, what if it's somebody we haven't seen in a while, i.e. an Austin Theory, somebody else from Punk's past that we don't know? What if it's
Jack Perry?
What if? Well, actually, he's doing things I like now in AEW. So,
Yeah.
Um,
And now Logan Paul shaking hands with the fans.
But I thought, like, we don't know the status of Jericho. Jericho has history with Punk.
Yes, he does.
And let's face it, anybody can execute the curb stomp.
Yep.
That little sidekick looked like something I've seen Rollins throw. But again, anybody can throw that. I also thought Randy Orton, but to me, if it were Orton, it would make sense if he attacked Cody, because I feel like when Orton comes back, that's where we go.
But Orton does have history with Punk as well. But I think if it was Orton, you would have seen the RKO.
I think we would have seen Orton reveal himself, though, too.
And Roman offering a hand to Punk.
And a fist bump. Orton kind of looking like, you did your best. Are we going to see the same thing with Cody? Jimmy and Jay standing on the sidelines of this whole situation. But I mean, this whole build between these guys, this whole thing between these guys has been the story. What if this is where we're going with WrestleMania with these three gentlemen?
Intriguing. I was wondering if we were actually going to get the Usos turning on Cody and Punk to reform the bloodline.
I mean, the way that Cody and Roman are looking at each other, do we get Cody Roman 3? If we do, as much as I don't want Roman to win the Royal Rumble, it feels more fitting to do it at WrestleMania.
Oh, it does. But I don't think you need Roman to win the Rumble to get Cody.
At the same time, I don't necessarily want Roman to win the Chamber as well to go after Cody.
Right.
I kind of want Roman at Mania in a high-profile match, but as I mentioned, I'd like to see it against Braun Breaker.
Right. I think we are going to get, and I'm going to go out on a huge branch here because I've already made my call. Initially, I had Sami Zayn to win the Rumble. I am going Dom winning the Rumble this year.
You know me, every year when it comes to the Rumble, I have multiple picks to win, and Sami is currently my only pick to take it. Roman might be on there. Braun might be on there. I have to see in the next couple weeks how they promote them.
Yeah, no, for me, it's Dom. Especially because you just got this reunion with Liv. You've got him now as the AAA Mega Champion, the Intercontinental Champion. You are pushing this guy to the moon. Dom wins the Rumble.
Well, we'll hold you to that one, but right now I'm going to hold you to you giving out your socials.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for me, you can follow me at my Linktree, linktr.ee/OMD show. And if you're looking for me visually, right back here tomorrow night on the Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke and myself, assuming Bubba Duke is not working. And if he is, Mr. Best will be joining. How about you yourself, Mr. Best?
All right. So yeah, you can look for me possibly tomorrow, who knows, but definitely Monday night when I do the Raw Patrol. However, you can find my socials at my Linktree, linktr.ee/Chris_best83. OMD. As we wrap up what was a fantastic year for War Games, what are those final words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.